Hello, everybody. What's going on? Today is Thursday, October the 27th, and we got four games on today's schedule. Some interesting matchups. So let's dive in and see what we got. First game, we got the Dallas Mavericks visiting the Nets. Dallas favored on the road by 2.5 points. I had the Nets favored here by a small margin, 1 point. Over here, we see the favorite is Dallas. Not surprising, really, you take into account that Brooklyn is on the second night of a back-to-back and has been playing some poor basketball. They've been showing a lot of chemistry issues. They look a little out of sync. Slow start to the season. I do expect them to pick it up at some point. It might take a little bit of time. Ben Simmons hasn't lived up to expectation quite yet, but I guess we do have to give him a bit of a break since he has been out for pretty much a year and a half, 2 years since he's played. So the Nets are struggling. Uh, just not just by the ranking, which is they started off 1-3, but the brand of basketball that they're showing us on the court. It's just problematic. Problematic, I think, is the correct word. The Mavericks have also started off slow. They're 1-2. Um, yeah, I think the loss of Jalen Brunson is showing on the Mavericks. He was a very, very important player, and you can see the impact that Jalen Brunson has had on the Knicks. How the Knicks are improved so far and playing some very good basketball. An important player, Jalen Brunson. Big loss for the Mavericks. They're favored by 2.5 points. This definitely has to do with the back-to-back for the Nets and the poor play. Plus, on the injury front, we see Joe Harris will be out. Markeith Morris will also be out. Seth Curry also not expected to play. Three rotation players, important players. Dallas, the favorite, and on Pinnacle. Um, the lean here is on Dallas, but the 2.5 points. I don't know. I'm gonna probably wait on this game for something better during the live or possibly at the half. The next game we got the Clippers, Oklahoma. This is the second game and between these two teams on the same floor. They played the day before. Paul George was out in that game. Oklahoma City ended up winning that game outright. They were favored. What's interesting about this game is in the game that they played the day before yesterday, the Clippers were favored by 5.5 points with Paul George out and Kawhi Leonard. John Wall returned to that game, and they were favored by 5.5. Today, I had this estimated at 7.5, knowing that Paul George would be back. So 5.5, I estimate Paul George at a actually a generous minus, a generous 2 points, even though he might be worth more than this. The 6.5 does look a little suspect to me. Is Paul George worth only 1 point? I don't think so. So this line actually does have me looking at Oklahoma City as a play of interest. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander also returned in the last game, played well. Um, so I just don't see why Paul George is only worth 1 point in comparison to the game that they played just the night before. So I will be looking at Oklahoma City in this game. The next game we got Miami at Golden State. Golden State favored by 6.5, right on the money. When I compare it to my estimations right here. Um, the Heat got a nice win yesterday in Portland. The good thing about that, it was an easy win. It was a blowout win, and no, not one starter played over 30 minutes. So fatigue should not be a problem for the Heat. The Warriors, they lost badly in Phoenix. Um, they've also started the season off kind of slow. Looks like a little bit of a hangover from the championship run. Klay Thompson got ejected in that game, and just overall they just looked a little sluggish. Um, yeah, 6.5 points is a pretty big line. This is a very, very tough game to cap. Very tough game, and since I do have it estimated exactly at the 6.5, I'm gonna skip this. Possibly look at a second half bet or something on the live. Next game we got Memphis at Sacramento. Memphis got a very impressive win at home against the Nets in their last outing. They started the season off 3-1, as expected. They're carrying on their good form from last season. The Kings, on the other hand, are winless, 0-3. They did show some signs of some good basketball in their last game, um, despite losing. A very, very short -3. I had this estimated a little higher at 4.5. The -3. Actually, let's take a look at the injury report and see if there's any reasons for this. Maybe some players are missing from Memphis. Let's see. John Conchar is listed as questionable. He's a rotation player, but not one of the most important players, so nothing really on that front. Sacramento, no injuries. They're playing at full strength. A very short line, in my opinion. The -3. Memphis is the favorite in this game, but this does have me thinking that the average better will be looking at this as a friendly line, and I think it will lure a lot of players towards this -3. We'll take a look at Sacramento in this game. This is also kind of interesting to me. So let's take a look at them. Four games. Let's do a quick recap and see what we're going to be looking at initially as games of interest. Dallas at Brooklyn, the 2.5 is a little inflated in my opinion. This kind of does remind me of the Portland and Miami line yesterday, where Miami was favored by 2.5 yesterday. Dallas also favored by 2.5. Evenly matched teams. Okay, the back-to-back, is it worth as many points? Don't know, but we will watch this on the live. Next game, Clippers at Oklahoma. Is Paul George only worth 1 point? Like I said before, I don't think so. Oklahoma City is the game of interest here. Miami and Golden State, nothing, since the line is exactly the same, my estimation, and the line provided to us by the bookmakers. And the next game, Memphis -3, a small line, which has me thinking of a play towards Sacramento. So OKC and Sacramento are the two games of interest. Um, I'd like to remind you that these plays are leans, early leans. I do always wait until the last minute to gather as much information as possible, and any last minute line movements that will help me in my decision making. Um, as I've said in previous videos, I have three um, chats and channels that I have listed in my description. A Viber chat, a Telegram channel, and I also have a Discord channel where I will be providing live alerts once once I finalize my plays. I will be posting them there. So if you want to get alerts, they are free. Just sign up, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. A short schedule for today. Good luck to everyone. Enjoy the games, and let's get that money. Also, if you like my analysis, hit the like button. Share it if you have friends that you think might be interested in my analysis and taking a different approach to betting on the NBA. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Yeah, so that's it, guys. We'll talk again tomorrow. Have a good one.